Welcome to Daily Papers, the podcast where we break down the latest and most interesting research into bite-sized chunks.
Today we're diving into the world of medicine, specifically pathology. That's the science of diagnosing diseases by looking at tiny slices of tissue under a microscope. It's a field that is absolutely critical for things like cancer diagnosis.
Exactly. And for over a century, that process has involved a pathologist, a microscope, and a glass slide. But everything is going digital, and pathology is no exception. Pathologists now often look at what are called whole slide images.
And we need to emphasize the whole part of that. These aren't just simple photos. A whole slide image, or WSI, is a gigantic, super high-resolution digital scan of the entire tissue sample. We're talking gigapixels, billions of pixels. It's like having a satellite map of an entire city, but instead of streets and buildings, you're looking for tiny, rogue cancer cells.
Which is a huge challenge, and it's where AI comes in. We've had AI models that can look at these images, but they've had a couple of major limitations. First, they often need a human to point them to the right spot. A doctor has to manually select a region of interest and say, "Hey, AI, look here."
That kind of defeats the purpose of an automated helper. And second, these AIs have been good at seeing, but not so good at reasoning or understanding. They couldn't really process text instructions or explain their findings in a way a doctor would.
But a new paper titled Evidence-Based Diagnostic Reasoning with Multi-Agent Copilot for Human Pathology introduces a system that aims to solve both of those problems. It presents a two-part solution, a new AI brain and a new AI team that uses that brain.
Let's start with the brain. It's called PathChat Plus. Think of it as a large language model, like a GPT, but one that has gone to medical school and specialized in pathology. It's what's called a multimodal large language model, or MMLM.
And multimodal is the key word there. It means it can understand multiple types of information. In this case, it's bilingual. It speaks both the language of images and the language of text. You can show it a picture of cells and ask it a question in plain English, and it understands both.
The researchers trained PathChat Plus on a massive specialized dataset, over 1 million pathology images and instruction examples. This focused training makes it an expert in its field. When they tested it against other AIs, including well-known general-purpose ones, PathChat Plus consistently came out on top for pathology-specific tasks.
So it's a very smart AI brain, but that still leaves the problem of those gigantic, city-sized slide images. How does this super smart brain know where to even begin looking?
That brings us to part 2 of the solution, a system called SlideSeek. And this is where it gets really fun. SlideSeek isn't just a single AI, it's a multi-agent system. It's a team of AIs working together, mimicking the exact workflow of a human pathologist.
So it's not just one detective, it's a whole detective agency.
That's the perfect analogy. At the top, you have the supervisor agent. This is the chief pathologist. It starts by looking at the whole slide at low magnification, the 10,000-foot view, to get the lay of the land. It identifies areas that look a bit suspicious.
And then it delegates.
Exactly. The supervisor creates a plan and assigns tasks to its team of explorer agents. It might say, Explorer 1, go to these coordinates on the slide, zoom in to 20x magnification, and tell me if you see cells with abnormally large nuclei. Explorer 2, you check out this other region for signs of invasion into the surrounding tissue.
And the Explorer agents go off, analyze their little patch of the image using the powerful PathChat Plus brain, and then report back to the supervisor.
Precisely. The supervisor gathers all the reports, integrates the findings, and refines its hypothesis. It's an iterative process. It might see something in a report that makes it send an Explorer agent back for an even closer look at a new spot. This continues until the supervisor decides it has gathered enough evidence to make a diagnosis.
The most amazing part of this is that it's all autonomous. The pathologist doesn't have to tell it where to look. SlideSeek drives the whole investigation by itself, intelligently navigating from a wide overview to a detailed, microscopic examination, just like a person would.
And the results are very impressive. They tested SlideSeek on a challenging set of 150 cases. It achieved 80% accuracy on the primary diagnosis. And when you consider its top 3 suggestions, what doctors call a differential diagnosis, it was correct 93% of the time.
That's a huge deal. But what I think is just as important is the evidence-based part from the paper's title. The AI doesn't just spit out a diagnosis and say, trust me.
Right. Because it's been tracking all the evidence gathered by the Explorer agents, the final report is fully transparent. It says the diagnosis is esophageal squamous cell carcinoma, for example, because we found these nests of malignant cells here at these coordinates and areas of keratin pearl formation over here at these other coordinates. It grounds its reasoning in visual proof.
So a human doctor can look at the report, go to the exact spots the AI flagged, and verify the findings for themselves. That builds trust, which is absolutely essential for using AI in medicine.
It is. This isn't about replacing pathologists. It's about building an incredibly powerful copilot, an AI system that can handle the initial time-consuming scan of a massive slide, highlight the most critical areas, provide an evidence-based preliminary diagnosis, and basically serve as a tireless expert second opinion.
It's a fascinating look at the future of diagnostic medicine. The system combines a highly specialized AI brain with a clever team-based approach to tackle a real-world problem in a way that is both effective and, crucially, interpretable.
A big step forward for AI in the clinic.
Thanks for tuning in to Daily Papers. We'll be back again soon with another deep dive into the world of research.